Hello, Marco. I'm Jacob, your English teacher. I'd like to kick off this class by asking if you have any questions about learning English or any challenging grammar topics you'd like to work on.
Yes, teacher. I have an important question, may I?
Of course. Your question and the answer can benefit everyone, so please go ahead.
Teacher, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Marco, and I have a question.
Nice to meet you too, Marco. What's on your mind? How can I assist you?
I'm really curious about something. All our previous teachers have told us, you have to think in English. I understand it's crucial for speaking in English, but how do we actually do that? They never told us how.
Ah, I see what you mean. You're absolutely right. Teachers often emphasize the importance of thinking in English without explaining how to do it. I hope everyone is paying attention because I'm about to share some tips on how to think in English. It's a valuable skill that boosts fluency and fosters connections with people from various cultural backgrounds. You don't necessarily need to relocate to an English-speaking country.
That sounds great, teacher. I'm eager to learn how to think in English. What's the first step?
Well, if you already have a basic or intermediate level of English, avoid using a bilingual dictionary. I remember spending hours looking up words and their meanings in an English-only dictionary. I prefer using paper dictionaries because they help me remember words better. It depends on your personal preference. When you search for a word in a physical dictionary, you naturally repeat it in your head. By the time you find the meaning, you've memorized the word. It's an effective method.
That's a good tip. I'll try using an English-only dictionary more often.
Another helpful practice is changing the language settings of your devices or applications to English. Many things you use daily, such as your mobile phone, Facebook, shopping list, and calendar, can be set to English. You must get used to dealing with these things in English. If you have trouble understanding certain menus or words, translate them to comprehend their meanings. It's hard work, but it's worth it.
I never thought about changing my phone's language settings. I'll give it a try. What's the next step?
Talking to yourself may sound a bit crazy, but it's effective. When you do this, imagine you're conversing with someone else. You ask questions and think about responses. This is an excellent way to practice what you might say in a real conversation. For example, imagine an imaginary person asking you about your thoughts on the English lecture today. Practice your response in your head or out loud.
That's a unique approach, but I can see how it would help with speaking fluently. What else can I do to think in English?
You can also think about everyday situations in English. Choose one of your daily activities and think about it in English. Repeat this exercise daily and select different situations to consider. It can be quite enjoyable.
I like that idea. It makes practicing English a part of my daily routine.
Describing unknown words is another useful exercise. If you can't think of the word for something, describe it. For example, if you can't remember the word garage, you can say, the place inside where I put my car, or it's next to my house, I keep things there. Use shorter phrases like it's similar to or it's the opposite of.
I often get stuck when I can't remember a word, so that's a great workaround. Thanks for the tip.
Think in complete sentences. For example, if you're sitting in a park, you can tell yourself, "It's such a beautiful day, and people are playing sports with their friends." Start with simple sentences and gradually move on to more complex ones. Don't worry too much about correctness, this exercise helps increase fluency.
I'll definitely try to incorporate more sentences into my thoughts.
Describe your day in English. Talk about your daily experiences. This is like having a practice partner. You can also make plans for your day in English. This will help you apply various grammar topics and enhance your English.
That sounds like a great way to integrate English into my daily life. I'll give it a shot.
Many students avoid writing, but it's essential. When you engage in these exercises, you will inevitably encounter words and phrases you don't know. Having a notebook to jot down these new words and phrases and the context in which you encountered them is valuable. This will make it easier to recall them when you're in a similar situation again.
I've never been much of a writer, but I'll start taking notes to help me remember new words.
The most significant challenge is dealing with the frustration of not being able to fully express yourself in English. The key is positive thinking and staying motivated. Don't give up.
I can see how staying motivated will be crucial. I'll work on that aspect too.
In conclusion, practice these exercises daily. Dedicate a bit of time each day to them. Consistency is the key. When you make these practices a habit, you'll naturally start thinking in English.
Thank you so much for all these practical tips, teacher. I'm already excited to get started. I have a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Of course, Marco. I'm here to help. Please, go ahead with your questions.
One thing I've been wondering about is, how do I expand my vocabulary when thinking in English? I often find myself using the same words and phrases repeatedly.
That's a great question, Marco. To expand your vocabulary, you can start by reading English books, newspapers, or magazines. This exposes you to a variety of words and their usage in context. Additionally, try learning a new word or phrase every day and use it in your daily thinking exercises. It's a gradual process, but over time, your vocabulary will naturally expand.
That makes sense. I'll start reading more in English and work on learning new words daily. Another thing that I struggle with is understanding different English accents. When I hear native speakers with various accents, it can be challenging. Any tips for improving my understanding?
Accents can be tricky, even for native speakers. To improve your understanding, expose yourself to different English accents. You can watch TV shows, movies, and YouTube videos featuring various accents. Try to mimic the way they speak and pay attention to the unique sounds and intonations. The more you practice, the better you'll become at understanding different accents.
That sounds like a fun way to improve my listening skills. I'll give it a try. One last question, teacher. How can I improve my English thinking skills while I'm not in a class or studying?
A great way to continue improving your English thinking skills outside of class is to engage in conversations with native speakers or fluent English speakers. You can find language exchange partners or join English-speaking communities online. Practice makes perfect, and real conversations will help you apply what you've learned. Additionally, consider watching English language movies, series, or listening to podcasts in your free time. It's a more enjoyable way to stay immersed in the language.
Thank you, teacher. Those are excellent suggestions. I'll look for language exchange partners and incorporate more English media into my routine.
You're very welcome, Marco. I'm glad I could assist you. Remember that language learning is a journey, and the key is persistence. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and you'll see continuous improvement. If you have more questions in the future or need further guidance, don't hesitate to reach out. Best of luck with your English learning journey.
Thank you, teacher. I'll certainly keep your advice in mind and reach out if I need help. Have a great day.
You too, Marco. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to our English classes. Goodbye for now.
I'm excited to start implementing these tips into my routine. Thank you, teacher, for the guidance.
You're very welcome. And remember, track your language-related activities. Keeping a log of your daily English language activities helps you continue your development and gives you a sense of accomplishment. Don't stop, keep following up on your progress. Good luck! Thank you for your attention. I hope you found this conversation helpful. If you want to further improve your English, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend. If you'd like to support this channel, you can join us or click on the Super Thanks button. Thank you very much for your support. Take care.